You see, because after they enslaved us and destroyed the black family and said, you're not going to function. And so we are in a state of dysfunction. The majority of black children are in what? Single-parent households. We have huge numbers of children that are producing children. No child can rear a child to be a soldier. No child can rear a child to be a soldier. And if you bring children in the world and you can't take care of them, so they're passed from one foster home to another foster home to another foster home to another foster home. Not only are you making children who are going to become drug addicts and alcoholics, but you are setting up children to be sexually abused. And I am telling you, if anybody in this room doesn't understand what is happening to children who have been, what? Produced without responsibility. That these children are being dogged and degraded, it will make the strongest man cry if he dared to read the history. It is a living, crying shame what is happening to hundreds of thousands of black children under white supremacy. But white supremacy is not going to change it. It is up to black people to study the chessboard and say never another black child is going to be born to a child. Never another black child is going to be born and then given away to the slave master and say, you raise him. Do you all understand what I'm saying? I'm saying my view. No black woman should have a child until she's 30. No black man should become a father until he's 35. No more than 2. No closer together than 3 years apart. Why? Because we are going to win this war. All right. But if children do not have mature parents, see, now white supremacy said you're not going to have any mature parents. This is a war. I'm not letting you all have any mature parents if I have anything to say about it. I want you to produce weak people. I want you to produce children that are not taken care of so I can sell drugs to them and look at them falling all over the street. I want to produce men that can't fight the war. I want to look at it and feel strong and powerful and white. No, this is what we are up against. So it's a big game that is on the field. It's not about, I'm going to do my own thing. You don't go on a football field and I'm going to do my own thing and the coach says get off the field. You don't go on a basketball court, I'm going to do my own thing. You don't even sit down with checkers, I'm going to do my own thing. No, you play the game that is on the table. We are being required to play this game of justice against white supremacy. It cannot be done with weak people. It cannot be done with children who do not get their lap time. See, lap time, I asked some children, what is lap time? How many times you run around the field? No, lap time is the time that little children require to get their emotional bearing by being able to sit on a mature lap and not have somebody say, get down, boy, get down, you're too big. Get down, girl, get off of my lap. You see I got this baby. You understand what I'm saying? Now the conditions have been produced because if you don't give children lap time, they will become obsessed with sex. Did you get it? I gotta have some. I got to have some. Ooh, I gotta get me some. House is burning. I gotta get some. See, if you don't meet the emotional needs, if mature parents are not available, children will look for a sexual outlet to be close. And a little teenage girl, I want to have a baby, Dr. Welsing. I can take care of this baby. She's 13. I'm going to love this baby. This baby's going to love me. Little boy, little girl, if you love me, you're going to have my baby. Yeah, I'm going to have a baby for you. Little boy wants to be loved. Little girl wants to be loved under the conditions of white supremacy. It is going to be a disaster. Children who do not get their emotional needs met cannot sit still in the first grade. And then somebody will say, oh, he's hyperactive. I think we need to put him on medication. Do you all understand? Absolutely. Somebody with the first child at 14 and by the time they're 22 is 6 children. Do you understand? She's overwhelmed. It is no way possible for somebody 22 to meet the emotional needs of 2 children. Do you understand? We must master what has happened to us under white supremacy. We are not dumb, we are not stupid, but a war machine has rolled over us.
With their own children. You keeping your daughter away from her mother is training her to do the same thing with her son and the baby's daddy. This goes on perpetually. Fatherless children are more likely to join gangs and lead delinquent lives. A gang is a what, y'all? Surrogate family. Children want structure. You think they want to do whatever the hell they want? No! They want to be told what to do sometimes. And if you don't give them structure, they'll go find it in a gang. A gang ain't nothing but a replacement family because you ain't got one. Fatherless children are more likely to suffer emotional and mental illness. Children without fathers are more likely to experiment with homosexuality and lesbianism. Effects of fatherlessness on our daughters. Obviously, teenage pregnancy, right? Teenage pregnancy ain't got nothing to do with sex. It's emotional attachment issues. That's right. That's right. And why is teenage pregnancy so bad? First of all, if a black woman has a baby before she graduates high school, there's a 75% chance she'll be spending the rest of her life in poverty. That's number one. Okay? 95% chance that she won't graduate on time, and a 99% chance that she'll never earn her master's degree, assuming that's what she wanted to work up to. Also, the problem with teenage pregnancy is it does what? Blurs the line between who's a child and who's not. Once a girl gives birth to a baby, once a boy can say, I got a seed, now they think that they are on your level. And that's why we got this problem out here where young people thinking they old enough to talk to you any way they want. You know why? Because I gave birth. And since I gave birth, it ain't nothing you can tell me no more. Teenage pregnancy has destroyed the natural age hierarchy in the black community. And the only way we're going to get it back is to cut down on this teenage pregnancy. So you know what I do when I go into the schools? Got you. You know what I do when I go into the schools and talk about sexually transmitted diseases, and I put the pictures up. When I'm done, they don't want sex no more. Homo, hetero, nothing! I put a picture of gonorrhea up there. I say that's breakfast. Syphilis, that's lunch. Herpes, that's dinner. AIDS, that's, oh, they be turning in. Oh my God, turn it off, Mr. John. Oh no, you're going to open your eyes. You got to make them feel that. You see? And they come back. Mr. Johnson, I was cool all summer, dog. Every time I wanted a cookie, I saw a herpes. Damn! Yeah. Y'all got a group in Maryland, group of children who want to play grown. Your teenagers, they out there dating, and bring them here and give them to me, and let me bring my overhead and let me show them some pictures. Okay? We are in all that. They'd be wanting to give up on that. Okay? Low self-esteem for the girls, poor self-image, sexual promiscuity, and the hopeless romantic syndrome. If those of us who know people who are doing wrong by children started standing up for the children, you will see less court. See, the reason mothers got to run the court and fathers got to run the court is because the family and friends are acting like they don't see what the hell going on. See, if the grandparents were those elders we need, it couldn't happen. Because she and he going to say, sit down and sit down. If y'all can lay down and rumble, tumble, and make them, you're going to stand up and race them. That's what an elder does. But see, an old person will just look at it and keep on walking, and they feel like they can't say nothing because they the ones who taught them how to do that. Intergenerational. Y'all know this is intergenerational, right? You look at certain families, every woman kept the father out the life. Every father wanted nothing to do with his children. Now, I'm not going to say a sister is wrong for going to court to get child support if after she tried to work with you and you wouldn't work with her. Okay? Fellas, you got to take care of the children. Okay? No, she ain't got no right to charge you above your means. And ladies, y'all got to be kind of chill with this, okay? Y'all sit telling brothers you need 2 G's a week. And the brother like, damn, who are you, Beyonce? What are you going to do with 2 G's a week? We got to keep it rational. And if the father can't pay for the children, think of other ways he can take that out. Well, you're going to be the primary babysitter. You got to pick her up and drop her off at aftercare, whatever the situation is. There's other ways. We can do this, y'all, because you know what we're doing with all this drama is that we are role modeling anti-African behavior to the next generation. See, when that teenage girl gets pregnant, and we don't want her getting pregnant as a teenager, but when she does, what is the idea she's going to govern that child's life with? The ones based on our culture? The ones she saw in the hood. How is the boy going to deal with his baby mom? Based on the culture? The way he was taught in the hood. And too many of our young girls are being physically abused by teenage boyfriends. I'm taking girls to the hospital with black eyes. She ain't married, ain't got a baby. She's just a girlfriend, still living under her own roof. But yet he thinks to be a man means I got to hit on my woman. And the sad thing is what? Some women grew up in homes where the mothers always got abused, so they think that if he don't hit me, he don't love me, because love is supposed to be painful.
If this family is thrown into imbalance and the mother is trying to take care of the children alone, father is gone, or the father is underemployed or unemployed while he's there, and the mother is trying to meet the needs of children by herself, she might achieve it, but I say that there is a loss because she gets tired. And when she gets tired, it becomes difficult to share positive emotional feelings. She is overwhelmed, she is exhausted. She is not in a position to meet what I call dependency needs. Not in a position to give lap time. You know, time to sit on mother's lap until the child says, fine, I've had enough, let me down. And so if children don't get lap time, if they don't get their emotional needs met, then they start looking around for ways to get their emotional needs met. And so what do? If I don't get my emotional needs met appropriately on the lap of my mother or my father, I'm wandering around looking for sex. I gotta get it. You see, all those songs, I need you, baby, I need you, I need you, I need you, is not having enough lap time. Do you all understand what I'm saying? Or the little girls say, I need a baby because I need somebody to love me. Or if I have his baby, he's going to love me. I want you to have my baby to show that you love me. And so now we have an epidemic of teenage pregnancy. Are you all with me? But look at this. When children have children, say I'm 15. I was going over a case in Washington, and the lady had her first child when she was 10. Do you all understand? 10. The next child when she was 12. It is impossible for a child to meet the emotional needs of a child. It is impossible. Did you understand? It is impossible. Nobody can teach you that in a 12-month course. Nobody can teach you that. Well, we've got a crash course for teenage girls who are pregnant, and we're going to help them learn how to take care of their babies. Forget it. It can't be done. You cannot pass on what you have not achieved. And so the child has not achieved emotional maturity and cannot pass it on to the next generation. So the child who has a child for a parent is a child that is dependency deprived and depressed. Are you all with me? How do you treat depression? You treat depression with drugs, heroin, cocaine, marijuana, PCP. Are you with me? Alcohol. People are not into drugs because they like it. They are into drugs because there has been prior dependency deprivation. There has been failure of parenting. Not because the parents were bad, but because the parents are victims of white supremacy.
And let me be clear. Fatherlessness and motherlessness have the same detrimental effect on the children. The reason why we're talking about fatherlessness more so isn't because motherlessness is any less. It's just that fatherlessness is more of a problem because of the war on black men. And I want us to be clear, because people will get the impression you never talk about motherlessness, so are mothers irrelevant? Of course not. It's just that in our community, the mothers tend to end up with the children. So you're more so dealing with fatherlessness. Effects of fatherlessness on boys. School dropout and truancy, number one. How the hell am I supposed to learn how to read when I don't even get to see my father? And you got him going to special education. For what? Well, the teacher said he got a comprehension problem. Comprehension requires focus. He can't. All he think about is when he's going to see his father. This ain't got nothing to do with learning. It's attachment issues. ADHD. What does a child do when they go to school if they don't get enough lap time at home from their parents? They act up to get the attention of the adult involved. That wasn't ADHD when we were growing up, but it is now because the drug companies found out that they can get rich on fathers not being in the home. See, what they did was they got rid of the doctor and got rid of the daddy and put in the doctor. They got rid of Pop and take you to the psychiatrist. The psychiatrist is the new father in the black community. I call it daddy in a bottle. Domestic violence and bullying. A lot of boys who got the thug energy, anger. Thug energy is normally anger and pain. That's all it is. Masculine, masquerading as some sort of hyper masculinity. I know, because I do therapy with them thugs. And once they see I ain't scared of them, then we can have a conversation. Do you know when a boy don't have his father, the risk of him thinking about, planning, or attempting suicide goes up tremendously? Let me ask you a question. The percentage of black boys who have attempted, considered, or planned suicide has increased 800% since 1980. What began in 1980? The mass incarceration of black fathers. The suicide rate of black boys is directly related to the pain of not having their own daddy in their life. They write me the letters, y'all. Mr. Johnson, I hate back to school night. Me and my mom go, and I'm glad she with me. My boys, my homies, they got their dad with them. I be wanting to cry. I can't say nothing to my mom because she gonna think I don't value her being here. So they hold it in, y'all. Hold it in. And then when somebody do something to them that they consider to be disrespectful, boom. And people are like, why did you break his nose for stepping on your sneaker? He didn't mean it. It wasn't really over the sneaker. It's over the fact that I want my father and ain't got him. You out there dealing with some woman, you end up getting her pregnant because you can't control your energy. And guess what? The child suffers more than you. That's right. Children of fathers who committed adultery, which means that they're quote-unquote illegitimate, which is European, not us, more likely to suffer emotional problems because not only do they not have their father, they can't even tell people who he is. I deal with it every day. Brother and sister right next to each other in the same class. This one by that mom, that one by that mom, but they're not allowed to say it because she's illegitimate. So the children are forced to live with that secret. How dare you put a child through that? You know what I tell the child? Tell him who your father is. I don't care if he like it or not. Get a t-shirt with his name on it. He's going to make you live with that sin that he committed. Depression, anxiety, obesity, health disorders. Let's talk about obesity. A lot of our children who suffer from obesity are not in love with food. They are in love with peace of mind. And because they can't get it, they eat and drink themselves. Because why? Eating and drinking are pleasurable. They're the two biggest drugs in the community, and they both legal. And some of your children learn how to do what? Intoxicate with food and soda pop because they watch you do it. You have to watch yourself. That's where obesity comes from. That's why I want to have a conversation with Michelle Obama so we could talk about her obesity plan, because she ain't got nothing in there dealing with the mental health triggers for obesity. You ain't dealing with these girls being sexually abused and that's why they're eating up all the ice cream, because they got problems and ain't nobody to talk to, so the food becomes a friend. Feelings of rejection, insecurity, and abandonment. And what else is bad for children who come from fathers who committed adultery? Separation from their biological siblings. That's her brother, that's her brother, that's her auntie, but she can't say it because she's what? Illegitimate according to white people. And so her mother and her father make her feel ashamed, or him, for being here.
You see, but breeding and studying, sex obsession. See, you can make a person sex obsessed. Just like you can make a person need alcohol and need drugs. Let me tell you how. Don't give little children all the emotional attention that they need. They will be 25 years old and still longing for it. I said they can be 25, they can be 40. A man sat in my office this week doing premarital counseling. These are middle-aged people. And the woman he's married has a grandmother that took care of her. And he was saying, I don't want her to bring the old person into our marital life. I want her all to myself. Do you see? And so very kindly, because I understood what that meant, and I said, you know, like, what do you think happened in childhood? Do you see? I want her all to myself. I mean, we could get witnesses. Sometimes men find themselves being jealous when a baby is nursing on the breast. He's not a dog. He just didn't get his lap time. See, slavery was not designed for us to get lap time. It wasn't designed for us to have family life. It was designed to have vulnerable people that you could make do your will. So don't anybody feel bad. We didn't design the system. But it's our responsibility to break it. See, so if I could wave a magic wand, don't anybody throw anything at me. See, I would say no sex until 30 and 35. Now I know, see, I can read minds. So I know there are faces out here saying, she's insane. See, but we may be talking about different things. I'm talking about winning a war. I'm not talking about comfort. I'm not talking about having fun. I'm talking about building soldiers. Soldiers who don't need marijuana. soldiers who don't need alcohol, male and female soldiers. Soldiers who can withstand until the job is done. So that means that little children have to get their nurturance, and they won't get it if somebody is 15 and 16 and feeling overwhelmed playing baby mama, and baby daddy is not on the scene because he's overwhelmed. Do you all understand? I didn't say anything about bad people, stupid people. No. Sex obsessed because dependency needs were not met. Dependency deprivation. And so it's not just what the individual wants to do. We are fighting a war. And the other side is not going to help us. I'm saying all of this so that we really understand what we are dealing with. See, again, let me go back to my magic wand. 30 and 35. Married. No more than 2, no closer together than 3 years apart. So that everybody gets sufficient lap time. So by the time they get to school, instead of saying, teacher, I can't. See, when little children are saying, I can't, they're not lazy. They're not stupid. They didn't get the security that they needed to feel that they can take those learning steps on their own. Do you all understand me? See, and I say the pants hanging down, I'm going to give it to you all real heavy. The pants hanging down is an invitation for a homosexual act. What does it mean? It means I want my daddy. Do you all understand? See, the gastrointestinal tract starts at the mouth and ends in the anus. In the hospital, as physicians, if people can't take medication, what the body needs by mouth, per os, it is administered in the rectum. So if the brain is thinking, I feel the need of masculine substance, the brain will go to penis in the mouth or penis in the anus. Because manliness has been extracted from the community. Now, men, don't take offense, please. I'm talking about what the war has done. See, why else? I mean, do you ever look at that? I used to say initially, the only persons who legitimately have their pants hanging down like that are an 18-month-old baby with a soil